ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायैस्तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। We are hearing from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In the previous class, we had discussed about the speaker of Bhagavad Gita. The speaker of Bhagavad Gita was Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. Today we will discuss about who is the readers of Bhagavad Gita. So many types of readers are there. Sometimes we have heard this quotation that sometimes people read Bible day and night. We read Bible day and night. You see the black, I see the white. It depends on their consciousness level, depends on the platform of the readers, what they understand from Bhagavad Gita. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita is such a complete scripture. Supreme Lord himself has spoken everything, even who is a real reader, what is the real platform of the reader, how many types of readers are there. From Bhagavad Gita itself, we'll try to discuss this subject. Basically, two types of readers are seen. First is Sukshmadarshi, second is Sthuladarshi. Sthula means those readers who accept the external meaning, not the internal meaning. The Sthuladarshi, they only accept the external conclusion. According to them, Arjuna heard Bhagavad Gita from Krishna. After hearing complete Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, Arjuna decided to fight. That means Arjuna was ready to do his duty, his karma. That's why those who are Sthuladarshi, those who accept the external conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, according to them, karma is the objective of Bhagavad Gita. Karma is the pratipadya vastu, is the objective, is the goal of reading Bhagavad Gita. But those who are Sukshmadarshi, Sukshma means those readers who can see the subtle things with the internal meaning, the actual meaning of Bhagavad Gita. They are not satisfied with the external meaning of Bhagavad Gita. They go deep into it. They try to understand the depth of Bhagavad Gita. What is in truth, what is the depth? Especially they reach that Brahma, Gyan and Para Bhakti as the objective of Bhagavad Gita. Reading Bhagavad Gita, the conclusion comes that Brahma Gyan and higher than that, Para Bhakti, the topmost type of devotional service unto lotus feet of Krishna, is the objective of Bhagavad Gita. So according to the Sukshmadarshi, those who accept the internal meaning, according to them, how they perceive the Arjuna's activities. Although Arjuna was agreed to fight, he accepted that I should do my duty fighting is my duty, is my karma. Although Arjuna accepted, but it is only his nishtha, his dedication for his eligibility. Means Arjuna was Kshatriya, so his adhikar, according to his adhikar, and this is the dedication of his eligibility towards his karma. But this is not the final conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. This is the understand. So different human beings have different nature according to the which platform they are, in which modes of nature they are situated. So their natures are different. So according to their nature, according to their platform, they have different eligibility for the karma. Different karma adhikar is there. They deserve different karma adhikar. Why karma adhikar is necessary? To maintain the body, to maintain oneself, karma adhikar is necessary. Although karma adhikar is not the topmost. But without karma adhikar, without taking shelter of the karma adhikar, one cannot maintain his life. If one cannot maintain his life, how he can attain the ultimate tattva gyan? How he can attain the ultimate conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, the topmost knowledge? How one will attain? That's why karmadhikar is necessary to maintain the life. And if one will be not able to maintain his life, it is not easy for them to understand the tattva, understand the truth, to realize the truth. That's why a requirement is there, karma adhikar. That's why in beginning platform, while they are following Bhagavad Gita, cultivate Bhagavad Gita, putting into practice in their life. So when they are gradually progressing in the path of spiritual realization, in the beginning, they have to follow Varnashram system. They take shelter of Varnashram system. The Varnashram system is not caste system, but a Varna, different caste and different sections, divisions are there. It is scientific and it is according to one's qualities and according to one's which modes of nature one is situated. So these different platforms are there. So in the beginning, one will take shelter of the Varnashram system. In Varnashram system, one will take shelter of karma. It is necessary. So in this Satkarma means the prescribed duties, the prescribed karma, prescribed by scriptures, not according to own whimsically. This is prescribed for somebody according to his platform, according to his eligibility of karma. So that is called Satkarma. So within Satkarma, it is included. What is included? Na Bhagavat Arpita Niskam Karma. That karma which doesn't depend or doesn't expect the results. Being detached, one offer all the activities, all the fruits of the activities to Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord. That is Bhagavat Arpita Niskam Karma. This is the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. Supreme Lord Krishna himself giving instruction to common human beings all, that one should follow prescribed duties, being detached from the fruits. That is the nirdesh, that is the instructions. And why it is prescribed by Bhagavan? Because gradually following Satkarma, one consciousness gets purified gradually, day by day. The more and more will follow in this path, and gradually the consciousness is purified more and more. And ultimately he realizes the absolute truth. He realizes knowledge in truth. And ultimately what one attains, ultimately one comes to the platform of devotional service. That's called bhakti. And then cultivating pure devotional service, one attains the platform of God. That is Bhagavat Prapti. Will enter into the spiritual realm and will be engaged in the loving devotional service of Bhagavan. This is the goal of Bhagavad Gita, the goal of Krishna's instruction in Bhagavad Gita. That's why those who are the readers of Bhagavad Gita, now two types of readers. We are now understanding the actual readers, those who can want to go the depth of Bhagavad Gita, can realize the subtle elements, the subtle instructions, the actually instructions of Bhagavan. That's why those who are readers of Gita Shastra, they should make themselves free from all types of doubts. What type of doubts? That Sri Krishna is the absolute truth, the supreme truth. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the God himself in complete sense. So one should be free from the doubt that he is Bhagavan. If one will have doubt, then his reading will be fruitless. He cannot go into depth of Bhagavad Gita. That one should be free from the doubt that Sri Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. And this is only possible if one will associate with bona fide Vaishnavas. One will receive Bhagavad Gita knowledge from bona fide disciplic succession. Then one can be free from all doubts. And if one accepts Krishna, that Krishna is the ultimate God, He is the ultimate supreme truth, then His instructions also true to extent. That's why one should accept Bhagavad Gita instructions as it is spoken by Krishna himself. No other doubt comes there. That's why here we see that how great devotee Arjun, he received Bhagavad Gita knowledge. He also readers of Bhagavad Gita. And Lord Krishna is the speaker of Bhagavad Gita. Supreme Lord Krishna himself saying to Arjuna that, O Arjun, you are my devotee. What type of devotee? Aikantik Bhakta, unalloyed devotee. You only devoted to me, not any other demigods, not other any Bhagavan. You are my dear friend. You are my direct disciple. Bhaktoshi me sakha cheti rahasyam yatad uttamam. That's why this is the best uttam, means best confidential knowledge I am giving you, because you are Bhaktoshi me, you are unalloyed devotee of me. You are my dear friend and you are my disciple. That's why we should understand. Without being an all-alloyed devotee of Krishna, one won't be able to understand the depth of the truth present in Bhagavad Gita. He will only understand the external feature and external part of the Bhagavad Gita, not the internal, the real depth of the truth. Without bhakti, without pure devotion, one will never able to realize this, not at all. In beginning of Bhagavad Gita, in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, in the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, everywhere, in each sloka, in each letter, in each line, each syllable, speaking this thing, that without bhakti, one will not realize the depth of the truth present in Bhagavad Gita. In 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 54 verse, Lord Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. Bhaktya tunannaya sakya Ahameva vidharjuna Jnantum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum cha parantapa. Again telling Krishna that only by bhakti to Ananya Sakya, one will be eligible to enter to my spiritual eternal ever. He will be eligible to realize me. Jnantu, one will be qualified to see my eternal form, and one will be able to realize the truth about me. Otherwise not. Again in 18th chapter 67 verse, Lord Krishna is speaking, Idam te na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana. This confidential instruction is only given to my dear devotees. Non-devotees, this instruction is not for non-devotees. It's only for devotees of Krishna. But in Bhagavad Gita we see Lord Krishna himself has indicated 3 types of readers in Bhagavad Gita. 3 types of sadhaka, those who are practicing their spiritual life, they are doing their sadhana, the spiritual practices, they are engaged. 3 types of practitioners are there. One is Jnani and Yogi, and third one is Bhakta. 3 types are given. The first one, about the Jnani, Lord Krishna is speaking. What type of Jnani? Those who are readers of Bhagavad Gita or practitioners, those who want to realize the ultimate truth by following Bhagavad Gita. What type of Jnanis Lord Krishna is speaking about? Lord Krishna is speaking, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyante. In 7th chapter 19th verse. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyante. Which type of Jnani? That Jnani which is prapadyante means saranagata, means surrendered soul. And he is with devotion, ananya bhakti yukta, means that Jnani is combined. He is following the unalloyed devotion. He is completely following unalloyed devotion, Jnani. Not Jnani devoid of bhakti. That type of Jnani is not Krishna speaking that he is sadhaka. That Jnani who has devotion, unalloyed devotion for Krishna, that Jnani, and dedicated to Krishna, surrendered to Krishna, after many lifetimes, he realizes Krishna, that Vasudevam Sarvamiti. Lord Krishna is the source of all emanations. He is the all in all. He is the essence of all the creation and all the Vedic literature. The second practitioner of Bhagavad Gita or reader of Bhagavad Gita is yogis. What type of yogi? So-called yogis doing some physical exercises? No. Lord Krishna in 6th chapter 47 verse is saying, Yoginapi sarvesang madgata antaratmana. That yogi is best among all the yogis, who is united with me within his heart, is united with Krishna. Shraddhavan bhajate jomam. With so much faith and love, he is engaged in bhajan, in chanting Krishna's names, form, qualities, serving Krishna. So that type of yogi, not the impersonalist yogi, those who don't have a faith in Krishna's personal feature, impersonalists, and those who don't accept the Shakti, the potency of Krishna, they don't accept, not that type of yogis, not Jnanis like that. Those are impersonalists, those who don't accept this Shakti energy of Krishna, those who don't believe the manifestation of Krishna, personal manifestation of Krishna. And this type of Jnanis or yogis, Krishna is not speaking here. Krishna is speaking about those Gyanis and those Yogis, those who are in the path of devotional service. And their so-called Gyan and Yoga is following Bhakti. Then they are practitioner of Bhagavad Gita and they ultimately achieve Krishna. So the process is a real reader of Bhagavad Gita, how one can become the real, actual readers of Bhagavad Gita. How one can. The process is given. Tad vidhi panipratena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is saying, Tat vidhi, if you want to realize that truth, if you want to realize the absolute truth, Krishna, then you must approach a bona fide spiritual master, a bona fide sadhu, Tattvadarshi, who has seen the truth, who has realized the truth, who is free from all the defects, he is beyond the defects and doubts. Approach such spiritual master and surrender unto him. Pranipata, with submissive inquiry, inquire from him submissively, who am I? I am an insignificant, not in challenging mood. Pranipata, pariprasna, sevaya, by rendering humble devotional service, by serving that sadhu, by serving that Vaishnava, by serving that Guru, then he will be pleased, he will impart the real knowledge, the absolute knowledge in your heart. That is the knowledge, the truth of Bhagavad Gita. You will once, after you receive that transcendental knowledge, upadekshanti the jnanam jnanino tattvadarshina, one day you will realize that Sri Krishna is the ultimate truth. He is the Lord of the Lords. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You will realize this. Then your life will be successful. This is how one should become a reader of Bhagavad Gita under guidance of a bona fide Guru. With these words, I am concluding my speech here. We will again discuss another different subjects from Bhagavad Gita. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Jai Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Rupanugacharya Sila Gurudev ki Jai. Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga ki Jai. Samagata Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare